primary triads and how to invert them, Unit 11 from the Fundamentals of Piano Theory, Level 2. So in this unit, we're going to identify the primary triads, or the 1, the 4, the 5, or the 1st, the 4th, and the 5th scale degree of various keys. And then we're going to invert those chords. So my problem for myself is that I overlook key signatures. Not key signatures, clefs. In the theory books, so I always have to pre-mark bass clef because treble clef is like, I guess, my home clef. So always got to make sure that I do things in the right clef. So when we're finding our tonic or our 1 chord or our 1st scale degree, or our subdominant, our 4 chord, or our 4th scale degree, or our dominant, our 5 chord, or our 5th scale degree, we just kind of have to count up the scale. It's pretty easy. So if you look, I'm circling the root of these triads. So you have C, we have F, and we have G. This is the 1st scale degree. That's why it's the 1 chord, because it's the 1st scale degree. F is the 4th scale degree, and that's why it's in Roman numeral 4, 4th scale degree. And then they built a triad off of that. And the 5th scale degree in C major is G. And that's why it's in Roman numeral 5. So if you don't know Roman numerals, a capital I is 1. A capital 1V, or an IV, is 4. And a capital V is 5. Now, if they're all uppercase like this, that means that they're all major. And we'll talk more about minor Roman numerals later. Another way that you could identify them is by calling the 1 chord the tonic, the 4 chord the subdominant, and the 5 chord the dominant. So there's lots of different ways to say the same thing in music, as you have probably already figured out. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to mark underneath my staff my chords. So everything is just kind of neatly right on top of it. So my 1st scale degree in G major is G. So I'm going to build a triad off of G. Now I can put here, just kind of off the corner of my eye, so I can remember what's in the key signature of G major is F sharp. Now my 4th scale degree in G major is G, A, B, C. So I'm going to go up to C, and I'm going to build my triad. And that is my 4 chord. I built it off of my 4th scale degree. My 5th scale degree was going to be one step higher. So G, A, B, C, D. So D, don't forget that F sharp for G major, and A. That's it. That's all you have to do for these. So I'm going to do the same thing for D major. So D, and there's an F sharp and a C sharp here. Don't forget that. F sharp, A, D, E, F sharp, and then G. G, B, D, and then 1 step higher than G is A, C sharp, E. And we'll do one more together. We'll do, I don't know, we'll do A flat major. So in A flat major, there's B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. So I have my 1 chord, my 4 chord, and my 5 chord. So my 1 chord in A flat major is going to be A flat, C, E flat, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, D flat, F, A flat, and then 1 step higher than D flat is E flat, G, B flat. So, okay, so we have all of these written out, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to finish these after, but I want to make sure that kind of have a good idea of how to invert these. I'm going to go back to G major, and it says that I'm going to now invert every single one of these chords. How redundant, how tedious. So if you notice in the key of C major, they took that one chord and they put it in root position, they put it in first inversion, and then they put it in second inversion. And then they took that 4 chord and then they put it in root position, first inversion, and second inversion. And then they took that 5 chord, that dominant chord, and then they put it in root position, in first position, and in second inversion. Wow. Okay. So very, very tedious work that you're doing here. And they're really just reinforcing that you know how to find the primary triads, and now we're reviewing the inversions. So now you have to invert all of them. So let's go back to G major. We had G, B, and D, and this is our root position for our 1 chord. Now I'm going to invert it to first position. It's now B, D, G. And I'm going to invert it in second position, which is going to be D, G, B. Okay, this guy's done. I'm on to my 4 chord. So I'm just going to kind of label it a little bit to make it a little bit cleaner, and I can kind of just, I don't know, organized. Root position, you already have all your root position chords labeled here. So you have C, E, and G. And then in first position, or first inversion, not first position, what am I saying? E, G, C. And in second inversion, you have G, C, E. I hate it when I get into the ledger lines. I'm so sloppy. And now we have our 5 chord. Finally, we're almost done with our first key signature. Wow. Okay, our root position is going to be, where we're at, right here. Okay, so root position for our 5 chord is going to be D, F sharp, A. First inversion is going to be F sharp, A, D. Next position is going to be A, oops, D, F sharp. Oh my goodness, it's so high. Oh, it looks so horrible. Okay, so that was your first one. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's very tedious, and at points you're going to question yourself because you're doing the same thing over and over again, and that's usually what happens when you do very tedious things. You start to question yourself, like when you look at a word over and over and over again, and then you start to question, is that really how you spell that? Okay, so let's do, A flat major is not on here. Let's do D major because it's just right there. Okay, I'm not going to put my key signature in here because I already have it written in my triads. So root position is going to be D, F sharp, and A. And look at how high you have to write it up, right? So I'm going to start as low as possible on each of the staves. So I'm going to put in first inversion now. That's F sharp, A, and then D. Second inversion is going to be A, D, F sharp. Woohoo! And now I'm going to my 4 chord. In root position, I have right here G, B, and D. G, B, and D. Great, fantastic, done. First inversion, I'm going to move the root on top, and I start with B, D, and G. You gotta flip, flip, flip it. Flip, flip, flip it. Woo! And a last 5 chord is A, C sharp, E. A, C sharp, E. 4 chord. Oh wait, no, what am I doing? See, you start to mess things up because things become tedious. Oh jeez. Oh jeez Louise. Second inversion is E. What did I just do here? A and C sharp. See, I thought I was in bass clef for a second. Okay, so first point, just make sure that I would do all of these first, and then I would go and do all of these and use this as a reference tool. If you're going back and forth like I just did, I was getting this example mixed up with this example, and that's what I was writing my 4 chord here because it was the middle one. So if it helps to do like all your treble clef keys first, do all your treble clef keys. If it helps to do all your bass clef, whatever. If it helps to do your favorite keys first, if it helps to take breaks, because this, like I said, it's really tedious and it kind of gets into your mind a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking and I'm just going to do it. And I may talk to myself a little bit because I talk to myself a lot. So there's F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So you have A, C, E, A, B, C, D, D, F sharp, A, and one step higher is E, G sharp, B, boop, ba-doop, boop, boop, ba-doop, boop. And then E major has 4 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. You have your 1 chord, that's E, G sharp, B. You have your 4 chord, E, F, G, A, C sharp, E, and one step higher than A is B, B, D sharp, double sharp, F sharp. There's 1 flat in F major, F, A, C, 4 chord, F, A, B flat, D, F, C, E, G, bada bing, bada boom, what? B flat, D. Ah, I went one too low. 4 chord is going to be E flat, G, B flat, and then a 5 chord is going to be F, A, C. And then E flat, B flat, E flat, A flat. 1 chord, E flat, G, B flat. 4 chord is going to be A flat, C, E flat, and a 5 chord is going to be B flat, D, F. Oh, I hope that's so legible. I'm trying to do it fast for you guys. Okay, I'm going to F major over here. My 1 chord, my 4 chord, my 5 chord. I'm just pre-labeling because that's what I do to help myself stay on track, to keep it organized. Okay, F, A, C, A, C, F, C, F, A. Okay, my second chord is B flat, D, F, D, F, B flat, and then D, B flat. I mean F, B flat, B. And then my 5 chord is going to be C, E, G. First inversion. And then second inversion. B flat major. I'm gonna write it lower because I don't want to go up that high. I'm so sorry. Because I'm like that. Honestly, you can write it in whatever octave you want. I just really don't like writing ledger lines, so I will avoid it at all costs. I really don't like it. And my 5 chord for B flat is F, A, C. One more! Yay! I honestly love how I'm doing the book with you guys because you know what, it's always good to redo things and just kind of review, even if it is like whatever, you know, you can never there can never have like too much review. Oh my goodness, look, key of C major. You're just rewriting up here. This should be like the easiest one. I'm so close to being done. Don't mess it up at the last minute, Ashley. Oh, what was I doing? You ever just, your mind just goes blank? That's what happened to me. Wow. Okay, so there you have it. There's the answers. Check it. Do what you need to do with it. First, fourth, fifth, 1, 4, 5, tonic, subdominant, dominant. Roman numerals. You got it. Have a happy Thanksgiving weekend.